Welcome to Aries season. Welcome to Healing Hype Man, Instagram and YouTube. Message of the day. Let's get into what Aries season very well may bring for us. But first, there's too many synchronicities taking place that I feel it is relevant. I know it's relevant. So I want to share with you like what I see, what is coming through, in hopes that gives you some sort of like synchronistic moment or understanding into how impactful Aries season can be for you in starting something and understanding yourself and who you are and birthing something new, right? Aries is the first zodiac, is the first sign of the zodiac. And Dr. Michael Lennox from Red Robe Astrology always talked about how being in Pisces season, which we just left, was like the birth canal, right? Like literally like the womb, the birth canal, like coming through. And then Aries is the first breath. The first house is ruled by Aries. And yesterday, of course, I saw some woman giving birth on Instagram in her car because she wasn't making it to the hospital. It was her second birth. I guess she decided to record it. It looked legit to me. And I cried once the baby was out laying on top of her, because you can see her body just go into this state of what looked like pure relaxation after just pushing a human out of her in her car. And it was something about just that relaxed state of her just like decompressing in that moment was like just like a sigh or a whole body sensation that took place, right? So now the baby was born, and now Aries season, right? The birth, the born, the first time you take breath. And while it might have been challenging, you might have experienced challenges, emotional challenges. I'm not going to say that it was like completely bad all of last season, but you felt ups and downs and waves of emotions and things that might have very well been taking place, right? And every time that you went up in confidence or in courage, right, and then you went down in an emotional roller coaster, and then you went back up, I feel like that's part of the process. I feel like that's a little sign or like insight into like you're integrating what just took place, right? See those as integrations as they take place, and the body's trying to transmute that energy, right? States of relaxation. You very well might feel like things very well can be working out in your favor now, or there's just a boost of confidence, maybe today, maybe in the next couple of days. If you're watching this on Instagram, go ahead to YouTube to check out the full reading. With that being said, right, so another synchronicity that was coming up, I'm going to be very honest, I know I'm going to switch the tables here, is it's dark in nature, and I'm not here to trigger anyone, so I'm going to give you a trigger warning. I am going to talk about self-harm here and suicide awareness. It's uncommon for that topic, and I'm a therapist by nature, right? And for me lately, it has been uncommon for that to be the topic of conversation 5 times in a week, right? That's not the type of clinical work that I sit in every day, right? Others very well might see that and witness that every day, but for me to come up not only in my personal life but also in my clinical work, I feel like there's some sort of synchronicity there, as if somebody is really looking for confidence and confidence to keep going. So here's where I want to tell whoever those people are that you have support. And I know you have high expectations. We all have high expectations, and they very well might be unrealistic in the world that we live in. So you're not alone in not having and attaining and being and seeing what it is that you expected to have, but you're still an opportunity to try. And I like that you have high standards for yourself and the world. But I hope that you can find the courage to change and be the person and live the experience that you want to live here. There's way too much there. We still have plenty of time. And for those of you that might be in pain, I'm here to support you. You have Prince Charming right here. If you're watching me, I am in your life. If you watch me, I am in your life. You have a Cancer in your life, Cancer sun. You have a Gemini that will help you think things through, Gemini rising. And my Virgo moon wants to take care and nurture you as well. With that being said, I know that was a pivot there. I typically do feel Aries season to be a time where you get shit done. You get shit done. The Empress at the bottom of the deck. Don't we just love her? Oh, yes, we do. So let's kind of dive into this here. I know that was 5 minutes. But, I know even if that's for one person here, it's for one person. And the rest of this is for YouTube, and I haven't made it there yet. In the sense of reach. But I'll be honest, I'm going to take this opportunity to call in. Oh, man. Anyone that is looking to empower themselves, anyone that's looking for the courage to change, anyone that is on this spiritual journey and don't know where to go, anyone that might be looking into spiritual things and different modalities and healing and energy healing to some degree. My doctors, my teachers, please come forward. My students, my soon-to-be therapists, first and foremost, if you're watching this, you would make a great therapist because you're already understanding what self-development and personal self-awareness looks like. So you're already a helper. Anyone that likes to help people, right? Anyone that is a people leader. Anyone that is also a process leader, because I'm my analytical mind, you very well might like my metaphors here. We like metaphors, we like images, we like things like that. And I'm here to help you, empower you, and help you, give you the confidence to change your life so that you can go and live your life's purpose, right? Aries season, I'm pushing that out there. You see the concept here of me like pushing out what it is that I want. Aries is the I am, the self, who I am, what I want in life, right? Concepts, themes that very well can be coming up for you, right? In relationships, you might be taking a step back because you're like, hey, I want to go and like figure this out. You might realize like, hey, I'm going to step away from this so that I can figure myself out. And then you'll just come right back. Right? It's not about like, oh, I'm going to leave everything behind. For some of you, you might very well be leaving everything behind. But for some of us, it's more just like an internal, like, who am I? How do I want to show up in the world? Your first house is how you show up in the world. How do you want to speak? How do you want to think? How do you want to look? How do you want to look? Right? That's a big one. How do you want to dress? Right? How do you want to be perceived? But most importantly, how do you view yourself? Tell me about Aries season. Tell me about Aries season. Tell me about Aries season. Let's dive into some cards here. And yes, I was quoting Sia, The Courage to Change. That song just came up, right? Do I have the courage to change? Yes, you do. And if you don't, I'm here to hype you up. Healing Hype Man. Hype you up so you can go and change, because change, I'm sitting in it. I'm sitting in it, right? Aries season, Aries energy, Queen of Wands, Page of Wands, fires on the table, Queen of Pentacles. Queens are in the house, Towers at the bottom of the deck. Well, someone's gaining their confidence here. Someone's also able to do it all. It sounds like someone's getting their energy back to go and do the little things in life. And what I mean by that is like the most domestic queen is presented here, the Queen of Pentacles. It's very domesticated in a sense because she's dabbling in all areas of her life, her home, her family, her work, soccer mom. I'm calling my moms forward. I can't forget about my mama bears, right? Calling all my moms forward here to this channel here, right? There is an aspect of like, can I do it all? She certainly has the resources to do so, right? Human resources, calling those professionals to the table too. Hi, I'm one of them, right? And don't forget about your resources. So what is Aries season? Aries season is about exploring. One, you gain a sense of confidence and creativity. Exploring what creatively sparks my interest. Exploring what resources that I have in this world. Staying curious and optimistic into what areas or avenues I can very well pull. This is fiery energy. This is also I'm grounded energy. This is taking charge energy. This is like, but not in a, okay, let me take that back. It's not taking charge and it's having control. Perfect, Alvin. It's having control and willing to explore, right? I can put that in the sense of like, That's kind of like the work that I do on myself, right? My own qualitative research is I gain a sense of confidence. Okay, let me go back outside, see how much I can tolerate. Okay, I explore, I poke around, and then I need to pull back. I'm like, let me assess, right? Um, Back in the world, back in environments that I used to be in, back in cities that I used to be in, back in places that once brought me pain. I'd go back and I visit and I do things and I investigate and I see like, okay. But once you gain the sense of awareness, you're going to start looking at it from a different lens. You'll start seeing it for what it is. Awareness was a topic of conversation in sessions this week. And we discussed how once you have this awareness, you can't put it down. It doesn't go anywhere. You can't turn it off. Right? Bottom of the deck, why it's all happening, the Tower and the Page of Swords. Some of you, I would say a message came in that something just isn't working anymore. For some of you, communication came in, a message, curiosity came in. You poked the bear into something, or maybe perhaps you're starting to like realize something that it's like, that's not going to work. Maybe future prediction. Maybe you realize like that's actually a loss if I really think about that. Something is a loss. And it could be something is a loss. And why am I saying that? I'm hesitant because I'm like, over here, this is personal energy. This is people energy. This is like internal energy. And over here, this is a little bit like external, right? So it's maybe something external was a loss, and you might have seen it as a blessing in disguise, right? Or you realize something about it, that maybe perhaps external things that go wrong, that go a different way, that you're not part of, made you realize that material things aren't necessarily everything in life. That it's more about how you carry yourself, the resources that you have, that you've attained, the things that you've attained, your skill set, your abilities to do things, your ability to create and think outside the box and lead in some way, lead your life in some sort of creative way, right? How can you leading your life with curiosity, with optimism, with adventure, right? This is also very fun energy here, right? So we're coming into Aries season in a very like, I'm grounded and I'm doing what I have to do, what needs to be done, right? Domestic, what needs to be done. And I'm also being creative at the same time, and I'm like willing to explore some new things, right? That's very like that there. Why it all could be happening? Because I'm going to be honest, something came down, something didn't work out in your favor, or something left you out in the cold. Some of you very well could have, I don't know why I'm blanking that. It's not necessarily that it's a messenger, but it's like, I guess you got enough information that you needed, right? The mind gave you a little insight into something, and you're just like, I'm going to go in a different direction here. All right, so where are we going? Where are we moving forward towards? Right? So courage, confidence, yes. Grounded, yes. Okay, great. You have the courage to change. Right, okay, let me go back here. For some of you, it could be a tower moment of your life. Back to the basics. Just a tower moment. Well, first, I'm going to remind you, in case anybody's new here, the tower presents itself because the foundation was broken to begin with. It was broken to begin with, and that's not your fault. You didn't know. You didn't know that it was broken. You didn't know the foundation was broken. You weren't aware of it, for the most part. So it comes down. You can either jump off, so which means get out of the situation, or you can wait for it to fall, but it's coming and it's here or already happened. There was sneaky behavior, there was cheating, there was lying, there was trying to do the most. Pick which one matches your energy. Trying to do it all, trying to manage it all, trying to be sneaky, trying to be shady, trying to cut corners, or somebody was sneaky, shady, and cutting corners with you. You either left, you thought or abandonment here. Abandonment wounds are really big with this aspect, with this card here. You feel hopeless, down, depressed. You feel like you can't get out. You feel like you have no place to go. These could be all aspects into why you very well might be trying to find the courage to change. This is like being curious about what that looks like. And then you step into like, well, here it is on a feminine energy perspective as well. Confident leader. Hey, I'm courageous. I'm optimistic. I'm trying to think about the bigger picture, right? If you tend to be in this energy and you're thinking about all the details that took place, just look at the learning lesson and move forward. What did you learn about yourself? Well, you learned that whatever this caused was broken. I didn't realize it. Let's assess it. How did that work out for you? I realized that this left me out in the cold. I lost something. I was left out. Okay, how did we get here? Find that learning lesson in how we got here. That's the lesson there. And how did we not identify that these people did this? And if it's you, then identify how you did this to yourself. You didn't know these things were going to take place for the most part. So the awareness is, how did I get here? What steps did I take? And how can I make sure that I don't repeat that again? That is how you figure out the learning lesson here. How do we move forward? How do we move forward? How do we move forward? Wow, 6 of Wands. What a beautiful energy. Victory. I'll get there. 7 of Pentacles. Planting the seeds for the long term. Truth, gaining truth and clarity. I feel like pulling one more, and we keep going. Right? What do we keep doing? We keep going. In order to get to the 6 of Wands, we would have to. There's steps to this. How do we? This is a sense of victory and accomplishment. This is what attains. In this moment is when you attain confidence. When you can sit on the parade. I just did something that I have a whole parade waiting for me. I have a victory wreath to commend the celebration of my life because I put the hard work into my life, and now I have a victory wreath and olive branch around my neck so that you can ceremonially sit in the energy of something that you accomplished, right? So you would need to accomplish something. Ace of Wands, find something that you're passionate about. 2 of Wands, figure out, put a plan in place so that you can take this passion and turn it into this, right? 3 of Wands, let's not be indecisive. Now take action. 4 of Wands, you move into this thing, you're celebrating it because now it's part of your life. 5 of Wands, people might not like this new version of you or this new passionate thing that you're doing, but now 6 of Wands, and now we're sitting here and we're sitting in celebration because you're like, wow, I feel like I won again. I attained this. I actually went through all of these steps. If you follow it in order, you follow the minor arcana in the wands in order, you'll see where it is that you get to, and you'll see the story and the journey of the Fool, Aries energy, the Fool. Right? He goes through these journeys, and all of these cards symbolize how he gets there. Right? Planting seeds for the long term. Instant results is not being seen on the table because it's also showing me that we got to keep going. Right? Find the clarity that you need. Speak truth. Understand the truth of yourself, and you'll be able to sit in the victory. Some of you might just get instant victory just by leaving this. Just by leaving, exiting, and making your strategy and leaving it behind. You already, first card that came out, how do we move forward? Boom, you won. Some of you, it is that simple. For most of the time, it is actually that simple. It's just we're harder on ourselves. Notice how when I was using this card here, I was implying that if you did this to yourself, you did this to yourself. Most people don't like to swallow that pill. But then they sit in like the guilt, like I feel bad that I did that. I feel bad I didn't listen to my intuition. I feel bad. Don't feel bad. If you feel bad, write a forgiveness letter to yourself for not listening to yourself, for not being aware, right? Because that's a little bit aspect of a self-harm there. You're belittling yourself and you're putting yourself down to some degree. But you follow these steps. Keep going. Attain something that no one can take from you, right? It might take a lot of hard work at the same time. You might have to start planting the seeds now, but guess what? If you follow the zodiac and you follow astrology, as of today, next year, this exact time, you will be in a very different position. And Alvin, what do I work on as I go through this? Well, in Aries season, you work on you. And then in Taurus season, you work on your foundation and you work on money and you work on your value. And then in Cancer season, you work on your home life and your family. And then And then in Leo season, you work on how you show up in the world and what it is that you want to do for yourself and your confidence building, right? Notice how if you follow the seasons and you follow your chart and you follow the houses, it gives you exactly what you should be working on. And in 1 year, you can see the transformation to change. Astrology is a blueprint. It is a map, and we should follow it. And that is, we just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep swimming. Okay, one more card here. For those of you that need structure and layouts, hey, you have one. It's called your astrology, your blueprint. Anything you need to know about truth and clarity, directness. How serious do you want this? How serious do you want to change? I always ask that question to my clients. We could sit there and talk, and then we're redirected, and then we come back, and I'm like, how serious do you want this? Because I'm only going to put in as much effort as you're going to put into this, right? The seriousness behind the King of Swords is a direct, right, knife to the throat, like, yo, like, I'm ready to go in this. I'm ready to do this. This is how serious that I am. Like, my voice, gaining my voice with a direct assertiveness going forward. How bad do you want this? I'm going to leave that right there. My name is Alvin Catalan. I'm present. I'm done speaking now.